CNG-powered vehicles is gaining popularity due to rising fuel costs and government initiatives. Nigerians' interest in compressed natural gas began over a decade ago but is now surging as an affordable alternative to petrol. Reports has it that some cities are adopting CNG for public transport and setting up vehicle conversion centers. To learn more, we visited Mastermind Automobile Solutions Limited, where the CEO, Mr. Chukwuma Anyameluho, shared insights on this promising shift. Let's take a look.
This fuel situation, because the fuel prices, the petrol prices are at an all-time high now. So people are looking for alternatives. People are looking for how to how to reduce the expenses on petrol. So the CNG, it's simply compressed natural gas, is a byproduct of methane, which when you compress methane to 1%, that's how you get CNG. It's totally different from the liquefied natural gas, which is used for cooking and other things. This one now powers vehicle, is like a fuel for vehicle. So it's a new technology. It works quite differently from the normal petrol cars, even though you still need petrol to start the car. So it works kind of side by side, because in a vehicle there has to be some petrol for the car to run, when you convert a petrol car. So it works, there will be a switch where you can still switch back to petrol or still maintain CNG. So it's a technology that we are embracing gradually. If you're purchasing a CNG car, it will usually have to be brand new, because most of the used cars available there are petrol cars. I'm talking about Nigeria particularly. So if you want to get a CNG, it will usually be brand new. I think our indigenous company, Innocent, spoke about or advertised CNG cars at some point, but I'm not sure how the marketing of that has gone. But you could get CNG cars brand new, which is, by the way, my preferred option, or you could convert a petrol vehicle. So when it comes to cost, the petrol vehicles, you have options. You can get them used, you can get them new. But with CNG, for now, you're limited mostly to converted petrol CNG cars, except you import the new ones or even used ones yourself. And that will mean more cost. So for now, acquiring, a CNG car would be more expensive than the petrol. If you're talking about usage, it means you've ruled out price of purchase or price of conversion. So you're looking at the day-to-day cost, the day-to-day running cost of the CNG. So fueling the CNG is definitely cheaper now. Of course, that's why we are having a push for it. I don't even think the CNG should cost more than 100 naira per kg. We hear this about 200 or 250 naira to have the CNG in your vehicle. I think it should even be less than that. But then 250 is still a lot cheaper than over 1,000 naira. So yes, refilling or refueling your CNG cylinder would be cheaper, and then you have more range to drive. It's of course going to depend on your cylinder size. So the cylinder in the boot of your car would take you for a longer range the bigger it is. So yes, generally fueling. When it comes to maintenance, we've heard about reports of vehicles that have the ignition coils. Some people complain that the ignition coils go out earlier, and then some people say they have to maintain the car more often, and then some people also talk about premature wear of the engines in the car. So these are some of the factors that have to be noted when you're doing this conversion. You have to bear these in mind. But overall, I think it should be a cheaper way, a cheaper form of transportation. The value chain for CNG cars will go from the production to the end user, and I think there are about 6 six chains to that. Starting from in Nigeria, the NNPC would usually bring that on, and there's a lot of work now with Dangote refinery, so I expect that we may have them involved. So from there it will go to NIPCO, and where it's going to be compressed as well. So we have NGC involved, we have NIPCO, we have NNPC like I outlined, and Shell, of course, is also involved before it gets down to the last consumer. So 6 different chains or processes, that's what's involved. The government is still really pushing it. I would say more marketing needs to be done, and then more provision of conversion kits, and possibly CNG vehicles if there's a way. I heard about importation of CNG buses by the government. This is supposed to ease transportation, so if we can have that, if we can start seeing that everywhere on our streets, if we have these CNG buses, if we have the more vehicles of CNG coming in, more conversion kits, I'm sure the common man or the regular guy in Nigeria would embrace it faster. So it's just more work that needs to be done by the government and some of the specialized agency. But it's a new technology for us here in Nigeria, so it's going to take a little time, but it should pick up with time. I'm not sure a lot of Nigerians are aware of the funding program. It's left for us to see, for it to be everywhere. For some, how the filling stations are everywhere. That's the level we have to get to. If the filling stations that are scattered everywhere have CNG points, or if we can have filling stations that are particularly specialized in only CNG, then it will be easy to say that it will be easy to track. But for now, it's a bit dicey, but hopefully maybe with time. If you can get a vehicle that was manufactured as CNG, I feel like you've automatically ruled out most of the drawbacks associated with conversion, because when you convert, for example, you lose boot space, you have to do modifications with the engine, and depending on the current state of your engine, it may react adversely or not. You may have reduced lifespan of the vehicle. But imagine a vehicle that was made from scratch as CNG with its specialized components. I would expect everything will be different from the regular petrol car. So yes, the natural CNG vehicles would be my best pick, and I think they are better off comparing both. Countries like India that have adopted CNG, they are also temperate regions. So they have this hot weather, probably even hotter than what we have here. So the CNG is not as flammable as the LNG, the normal gas cylinders. So it's not as flammable. I know some videos have circulated showing CNG or fires, but most of them are propaganda or could be caused by other things. CNG in itself is not as flammable as the normal, gas that we have. CNG, it's a new technology for us. We're evolving towards that, even though it's old in some other places, but it's coming on as an option, which is good. It's good to have options. So now we have the normal petrol, we have the CNG. You can decide to do hybrid, you can decide to do electric. Our indigenous company Inosun has also brought in electric vehicles. It was launched the other day, recently. So we have these options for people to choose from. So hopefully we get to choose, and then life gets to be easier for us, petrol and transport wise.